morning and welcome to Aaron and Corey Live. Today's show is dedicated to our Prattsburgh athletes and coaches.
Yes, well, good morning, everyone. And it's interesting that we talk about dedicating it to athletes and coaches as we head into this program. Just last week, we were able to recognize our coaches for all of the hard work that they put into our athletes, and especially as students and athletes. And that was a new program that was put together by NISFA. So shout out to all of our great coaches out there and everything that they do for our kids.
Yes, thank you for everything you do.
Just a little bit about our sports program so that everybody knows we're not doing much different this year. Obviously, we can't gather and celebrate the kids this year, but we're going to be giving the same awards that we always give. Coaches are going to be able to recognize their individual teams with their MVP, their coaches award, and their most improved athletes. And also students will still have an opportunity to achieve levels of points and get some gift cards and trophies and things like that. So once again, shout out to our athletes and coaches. Great job, great year. And I'll turn it back over to Aaron. And one other thing that I have to bring up is...
What is that? What are you bringing up?
Shouldn't this be called Corey and Aaron Live? Because didn't it used to be Regis and Kelly? Or what is it?
I'm sorry, Corey.
We'll keep it with
times have changed,
Aaron
right?
and Corey Live.
I like it. And it's alphabetical order. That's what we say with it. So right now, let's take a look at our 2019-2020 Sports Awards Ceremony.
Hi everyone, this is Coach Lewis. I am here to talk about my JV volleyball team. First, I'd like to thank the administrations, school boards, and parents from both Prattsburgh and Avoca for giving me this opportunity to work with these combined group of girls. It was a little rough at first, trying to get the girls to bond and things like that, but once they started to bond, everything started to mold together. Keep in mind that Avoca girls had never played volleyball before. My Prattsburgh girls had, so it was a lot of beginning level skills. My Prattsburgh girls having to step up and help the Avoca girls, and by the end of the season, the improvement from both group of girls, both team was tremendous, and I'm extremely proud of everybody. So from Prattsburgh, I had freshmen Sarah Lass, Lily Jarrett, Gabby Chandler, Sidney Stratton, Tori Sobolowski, Gabe Felkins, and two 8th graders, Gwen Moon, who was injured from foot surgery that she had over the summer, and I look forward to seeing her play in the fall, and Haley Prendle. And from Avoca, I had 10th graders Rachel Lee, Alexa Owens, Megan Appleby, Destiny Hoff, Brianna Adams, and two freshmen Harmony Johnson and Alyssa Westbrook. And my manager this year was Bree Juritzma. Since we didn't have a modified team, I asked her to step up and be the manager for JV, where she could kind of participate in skills and things like that. So my awards, my most improved, this girl comes from Avoca, never played before, first practice really shy, not sure. By the end of the season, she was a beast. She was my middle hitter. She had a few blocks by the end of the season, lots of hits. Started working on some new middle hitting skills, which I'm excited to work on that some more with her in the fall. She was also practicing outside of volleyball practice, not only by herself, but she recruited a few of her friends who were interested in volleyball and practiced with them during gym class and whenever she could. So I'm excited. We're going to have couple new recruits in the fall. So from Avoca, my most improved is Alexa Owens. My coach's award, this young lady played modified for me last year, and she really didn't get the recognition she deserved. She's every coach's dream, willing to do what she's asked of, steps up when she needs to, doesn't whine, complain, any of that. So my first server in our games was having a little trouble. I think the nerves got the best of her. So I asked this young lady to step up and be the first server in the rotation, and she did it with no hesitation. She had most of our team's points this year. Her serve is consistent, and she never faltered under pressure. So my coach's award this year goes to Sidney Stratton. Congratulations. And my MVP. Let me just say the two of us butt heads, not only in school, on the court, or at home. I know it's hard to be a coach's daughter, son, whatever, because the pressure is on them. But Sarah really stepped up and took a leadership role this year, especially with some of the Avoca girls. She would take them aside, work on their serving with them, passing. Sarah really didn't want to set this year. She really wanted to hit, but I didn't have anybody else to step up into that role. I was working on a couple, but with more practice in the fall, I think they'll be ready to step up, and Sarah will be able to hit. And serving, she has the hardest serve I've ever seen. But there were times when, she would serve too hard, it would go out, and it was just not consistent. So that's when I asked Sydney to step in. And once I got Sarah out of that role, her serving was improved so much. So my MVP for JV volleyball this year is Sarah Lass. And again, I want to thank everybody for giving me this opportunity, and I look forward to the next season. Thank you.
Hello, and hope everyone is well. For the girls' fall tennis program this past year, the roster, we had 2 first-year players this year. At 7th grade, we had Cameron C.J. Moore, and 9th grade, we had Alexis Fitzwater. For 10th graders, Susie Moore, Mallory Patwin, Kendra Pickney, and Annabella Putnam. We had 3 seniors, senior captain Janie Marzalkowski, Laura McDermott, and Lauren Emmy Moore, also a captain for us this year. The team started out 2-2, going through a very tough schedule in the beginning, which I always like. It makes the girls stronger as the season goes on. We finished 15-4, including a nice win in team sectional finals over number 1 Lions. The girls won their sectional title for the 6th time in 7 years. Another outstanding performance from all these girls. Again, you have to have a strong team top to bottom to be able to win team sectionals. You can't do it. It's just 1 or 2 good players. The roster was pretty even. For individual sectionals this year, Susie and Kendra won their doubles title, they were the defending doubles champions from the year before, and they won it again this year. A strong performance by those 2. And Emmy ended up winning the singles portion of the tournament, and that was her first title at individuals. And it was a terrific way to go out as a senior. For this year's awards, we have 2 most improved players this year. And these doubles players, there's no way I could split them up. The year before they played second doubles. For us this year, we needed them to move up the first doubles. It's a lot tougher competition. They are needed more. They are definitely have more pressure on them at that position, but they were ready for it. And they just got so strong by the end of the year. In the finals match against Lions, they were playing a very strong doubles team that had been beating most everybody all year long. And they beat them 6-1, 6-1. They were playing so well. They made it all the way to the semifinals at the individual portion of the sectionals this year, and that's another strong performance. Mallory Patwin and Annabella Putnam are most improved players. Mallory won 18 matches and Annabella won 19. Our Unsung Hero Award. This is a new award for us this year. It's a very nice one. This young lady worked very hard, did all the little things you need to do, of course. Not only this year, but almost every year she's been on the team. She's been just terrific for us. There was a couple of moments early in the season where some of the younger players needed to be reminded what needs to be done, how hard you have to work, when to have fun and when to work, those type of things. And sometimes when you're younger players need to be reminded, but if they're reminded in the right way and by the right person, not necessarily the coach all the time, it makes a big difference. And I think it made a big difference this year. This year's Unsung Hero Award, Laura McDermott. Our MVP for this year, another very, very strong performance, all from the beginning to the end. And in the first couple of weeks, I think she was playing on one leg. In fact, she was hobbled so badly with an ankle injury. But get stronger and stronger as the season went on. Ended up leading our team again to sectional title and team, but also won at the individuals this year. But led off the court all the time. And she is just so good at bringing the team together, working with them, with the warm-ups, whether it's off court, with stuff going on in school, organizing this, that, anything that needs to be done to keep the team close-knit. Just keeps it lively, keeps it fun, keeps me on my toes as a coach, always challenging me. Certainly our MVP this year, Emmy Moore. Great year for the whole team, and hope to see most of you again this coming fall. Thank you.
Hi everyone, Mrs. Sullivan here to introduce and honor the PCS Lady Vikings varsity soccer team for 2019. And our team included 8th graders Cameron Edwards, Lily Hassauer, Diane Hakes, Emma Carlton, Madison Everdike. Our freshmen were Arianna Sierra, Jada Derrick, and Aveen Bages. Our sophomores, Samara Bigsby and Kylie Herndon. Our juniors, Captain Savannah Barrows, Colby Santillo, Emma Hassauer, Katie Link, and Captain Lucia Darpino, and goalkeeper Kayla Mills. Our seniors are Brittany Allen, Captain Shannon Elward, Captain Brooke Stratton, and Shiloh Barney. I'll begin by thanking some of the people that have helped out this year. Thank you to Ms. Fox and Mrs. Guy for coaching the combined modified program. Thank you to Mike Hubbard for always having the field prepped on game day for us. We appreciate you, Mike. Thank you to Coach Burke for all of your behind-the-scenes work to make our season run so smoothly. Finally, thank you to all the parents for your support and commitment to our program. This season brought a lot of growth and character building. I want to open with a quote that I found. When babies take their first step, then fall on their bottoms, we praise their first step. We don't criticize the fall. I think we could all learn a lesson here. We spend more time criticizing our falls and not enough time applauding our small steps. So you could look at our season and say we fell down quite a bit. Or what you should see is that we took many small steps and we are working towards something bigger. We had great leaders in our seniors. We have a strong core of juniors returning and many young and eager talented underclassmen returning to make some noise. We're going to highlight some of the end of the year honors that we have received. 2 of our seniors were picked to play in the Exceptional Senior Game back in November. Shannon Elward and Brooke Stratton represented Prattsburgh during the contest versus Wayne County. Congratulations on that honor, girls. We also had 4 girls that were named to the Steuben County All-Stars that I would like to highlight. Samara Bixby and Colby Santillo were named Steuben County Division II Second Team All-Stars, and Lucia Darpino and Savannah Barrows were named as Steuben County Division II First Team All-Stars. Furthermore, our team was named a New York State Scholar Athlete Award-winning team, meaning our team held an average of 95% or above as a whole. Great work, ladies. Now on to our individual awards. Each year it is a challenge to choose the recipients for these next awards. Each athlete has played an essential role on our team, and many players fit into the award categories. Tonight, I'm going to be giving 2 coaches awards, a Most Improved Player award, and the new Unsung Hero award. The first coaches award goes to a player with an extreme amount of determination and drive. This young lady was absolutely essential to our team. She played each and every minute of every single game. Her hard work and endless effort made her a huge asset this year. She also gave 100% and pushed her teammates to do the same. She faced challenges head on and gave some of the best players in our league a tough time with her defense. I'm sure she'll be happy that she no longer has to face guard Alexis Weldy. I am honored to award Colby Santillo with the Coaches Award. The second Coaches Award goes to a player that has shown an immense passion and love for the game of soccer. This young lady could easily play any position on the field and excel. She is a silent leader and works incredibly hard. She has shown true grit by pushing through and continuing to put her best foot forward. She stepped up and played some incredible defense for us this year, and I am honored to award the second Coaches Award to Savannah Barrows. Great job, Colby. Great job, Savannah. The Most Improved Player Award goes to a player that has shown tremendous amount of growth in her first season on varsity. This young lady is full of spunk and fire. She was told that she probably would not start, but she could earn more playing time as the season progressed. She quickly proved me wrong once the games began. She was 100% effort on the field at all times and had a strong desire to succeed. She set a goal at the beginning of the season for us to win a sectional game. And in our sectional game, she was an animal. She contributed immensely to the win. She recorded her first varsity goal and led us with her determination. I'm excited to see what she will bring in the next 3 years. The Most Improved Player Award goes to Arianna Sierra. Great job, Ari. The Unsung Hero Award is so perfect for this player. She has shown remarkable team spirit and leadership. This young lady was an unsung hero in terms of picking us up and putting a smile on our face after every tough practice or loss. She stepped into a position last year that she was unfamiliar with and did not look back. She led by example every day and was always willing to lend a helping hand. She has a true passion for soccer and is a wonderful young lady. She will truly be missed next season. The Unsung Hero Award goes to Brooke Stratton. Great job, Brookie. Finally, I would like to give another huge shout out to our 4 seniors, Brittany Allen, Shiloh Barney, Shannon Elward, and Brooke Stratton. We really appreciate all the time and effort that you've put into the program. We will miss you all next year. And thanks again to all of the girls for another year of memories.
Hello everyone, Coach Batoni and Coach Underhill here to recognize the 2019 boys JV soccer team. We had a great year. We finished with a season record of 8, 5, and 1. Throughout the year, we had 10 different athletes record at least 1 goal, and 11 different athletes record at least 1 assist. Coach Underhill will now go over the awards for this year's team.
First up is going to be Coach's Award. Coach's Award goes to Jamel Crowder. Mel was an awesome player out there, played wherever we needed him to, always worked his butt off, never asked questions. Offense, defense, didn't matter. The next award is going to be Most Improved Player. That goes to James Forte. James, it was his first year playing soccer. He played, again, wherever we needed him to. He was a leader on defense, and he really stepped his game up at the end of the year. And our MVP of the year is Hayden Abbott. Hayden led the team in goals and assists. He had 14 goals this season and 8 assists. He did everything and anything we asked him to, and every game he was drenched in sweat from all of the hard work he put into the game. Also, we want to just give a quick shout out to our boys. This being the first year that they were put together with Avoca and Prattsburgh, it was seamless. Like, we didn't have arguments, we didn't have your school, our school. The only time we ever saw that was Spud Bowl, which was kind of fun for the players. Go back and forth a little bit, but you couldn't ask for better kids to start a joint program with.
Right, and right from the start, we had guys hanging out with each other from the 2 different schools, making friendships that are still going on today. Lastly, we would just like to recognize some of the boys that got pulled up to varsity. From Prattsburgh, we had Sawyer DeVoe and McCoy Putnam, and from Avoca, we had Ashley McMahon, Josiah Stilson, and Hayden Abbott. Those boys were pulled up for a few games during the regular season and also during the postseason for sectionals. Thank you all, and we hope you're all doing well.
See you, boys.
Take care.
Hello, I am Coach Groff, head coach of the varsity boys soccer team. This past season, our team finished with a record of 12-6-1. The success of our season was measured more than just our record. We fell 1 game short of a sectional final game in a hard-fought game to Scio, who was the #1 seed in our bracket. We had one of our players, Mason Putnam, be named to Steuben County Division II MVP. We had 4 players named as All-Stars. This is just a short list of accolades that this team achieved this year. But across the whole team, we had a lot of improvements from last year. I believe we took a huge step forward as a program. We won a lot of close games with some good teams that we weren't able to win last year, and our record reflected that. We had a lot of players step up due to injury or positional needs. The players showed a lot of growth in their skills and knowledge of the game, which they should be proud of. Before I move to the awards, I want to share a few words about our senior class, because all of them will be missed on and off the field next year. They are a huge part of our success as a team over the last 2 years since I have started here. They are at the heart of everything this team does. We will miss the impact of Chris Hively, JT Campbell, and Ammon Anderson had on our defense and the rocks that they all were. Defense is very hard to replace. Sam Byington and Mason Putnam anchored our offense and were a huge part of our success this year as we scored 60 goals this year. Lastly, Myles Morris was a huge part of our culture this year. He was a great teammate and was always a very coachable player. Even though he did not see the field as much, he always had a great attitude and was ready when it was his time. Now for the awards. First award is MVP. This year I decided to combine the coach's award and the MVP because I had 2 players that were equally as important to the team for different reasons. Our co-MVPs this year are Mason Putnam and Ammon Anderson. Mason anchored our offense this year with 28 goals and 14 assists. Ammon anchored our defense with 5 shutouts and allowed under 2 goals a game. These 2 players were also important because of their leadership abilities. Everyone on our team looks up to these 2 players every practice and every game. Their skills and leadership will be missed next year. Congrats Mason and Ammon on outstanding careers. Next is most improved. Although this year I believe every player on our team improved tremendously over the course of the season, I believe there was one player who stuck out the most. This player is an underclassman who at the beginning of this season started out on the bench. He played very few minutes last year, and to be honest, I thought that this year would be another development year for this player. But due to some injuries, he ended the year as a starter and far exceeded my expectations. He ended the season with 5 goals and 6 assists and was a key player in our midfield in many games during the season. This year's most improved player is Evan Campbell. Congrats, Evan. Unsung Hero Award. This year we had a new award to give, and it was the Unsung Hero Award. When I heard the criteria for this award, it did not take me long to think about who I would give this award to. An award given to a player whose impact is measured in more than just goals or even individual stats and exhibits selfless acts. The player who is receiving the Unsung Hero Award is a player who in fact had no stats this year and never saw a minute of playing time. But he was at every game cheering his teammates on and helping out in any way he could. His dedication to the team this year was very evident, and it makes me excited to see how his drive to play and to get better will help him be an impactful player next year. This year's Unsung Hero is Ethan Kohlberg. Congrats, Ethan. Before I end this video, I must thank a few people that were a huge part of the success this year. Thank you to Mike Hubbard, a longtime assistant here at Prattsburgh. You continue to bring a drive and passion to the game of soccer that is evident to the players and to me. Thank you to his wife, Tracy Hubbard, who ran the clock at most of our home games. Thank you to the parents and all your support this year. Thank you to my wife and family who were at every game this year cheering the team and I on. Without your support, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. And thank you to the community for coming out to games to show your support to the team. See you all next year.
Well, this is not how I expected to end the year and celebrate our sports season. My name is Elizabeth Lathrop, and I am the indoor track coach. The indoor team had an outstanding performance this year. All of the athletes hold current school records, and the girls competed well as a team in both counties and sectionals. Counties include all city, Catholic, charter, Allegheny, Steuben, and Genesee schools, and our sectionals include schools up to your mid-sized Cs. For the individual awards, our most valuable player is Morgan Cheney. Morgan placed 5th individually at counties in triple jump and anchored all relays at both counties and sectionals. Morgan was constantly running the best of the best, and she handled it with grace. She is an outstanding runner for her age, and I can't wait to see her for the next few years. Our most improved player is Chrislyn Derrick. Chrislyn has been steadily improving for several seasons now. She tends to consider herself as unathletic, but she has learned our sport. She's learned when to push and when to endure, and her high jump has even placed 6th in our county. Our coach's award is Isabel Sprague. Isabel is a fun athlete to have. She will try anything at any time, and she's always in a good mood. She's steadily improved and is a great example for our younger athletes. Our unsung hero is Jada Derrick. Jada was the only non-cross-country girl and wasn't really thrilled with the 2-mile relay as an option, but since it was the best for the team, she was more than willing to step up. Jada has also battled the hurdles all season, and even though she may not post the best time in Section 5, she did get the school record back by the end of the season through tremendous work. All girls hold multiple school records with 3 relays each, and Chrislyn in the high jump, Isabel in the 55 dash and 600, Jada in the 55 hurdles and 300, and Morgan in the mile, 2-mile, shot put, long jump, and triple jump. And even though he did not get to finish the season, Nick Farley also holds 3 school records in the 55 dash, 300, and 600. At the Indoor County Championships, your Lady Vikings performed incredibly well. And as a team, they scored 18 points and finished 9th out of approximately 30 schools. They finished 3rd in both the mile and 2-mile relay, and they even dropped their 2-mile relay team by 6 seconds. With 25 schools represented at the Class D Indoor Track Sectionals at RIT, your Prattsburgh Lady Vikings finished 16th. In 8th place in the triple jump with a jump of 25 feet 11.5 was Morgan Cheney. In 7th place in the high jump with a jump of 4:10 was Chrislyn Derrick. And in 6th place was the 4x4 relay team of Chrislyn, Jada, Isabel, and Morgan in a time of 5 minutes and 49 seconds. And in 3rd place was the 4x8 relay team of Chrislyn, Jada, Isabel, and Morgan in a time of 14 minutes 37 seconds. Ladies, I have all of your awards separated and will be getting them to you when we start up again. We look forward to next season when we can return to indoor track with all Avoca and Prattsburgh girls on the same team. And since we can officially combine, it will give us the freedom to spread out the girls, and we look for that team to make some real noise next year.
Hi again, it's Coach Lewis, and now I would like to talk about my JV and varsity cheerleaders. I'd like to again thank administration, school board, and the parents for allowing me to coach your girls. I believe this is my 6th season doing cheerleading, and the improvement of the girls just keeps getting better and better every season. I love hearing compliments from the fans. And I would like to thank Mrs. Archer for her energy in the stands as well. It makes me smile, and it really gets the girls going. So thank you for that. My JV cheerleading squad this year was 10th grade captain Nariah Way, freshman captain Arianna Sierra, freshman Sidney Stratton, Alexis Fitzwater, Lily Jarrett, and Gabby Chandler. My varsity squad, junior captain Emma Hossauer, freshman captain Tori Sobolowski, sophomore Kylie Herndon, freshman Sarah Lass, Violet Hopkins, and 8th grader Madison Everdite. And my managers were Kendra Buchanan and Amelia Herndon. As you know, cheerleading basketball season is extremely long. These girls are mine from the end of October till middle of March or so, depending on how far the girls and boys go. And we practice just about every day. And if they're not practicing, they are cheering at every JV boys and girls, varsity boys and girls home games. And once counties and sectional start, they're cheering at all of those games as well. So they're pulling double duty. It's a lot of work. By the end of the season, they're exhausted, but they never give up. And that's one thing that makes me proud of these girls and why I enjoy coaching cheerleading. Yes, it's not perfect. We have our ups and downs. Stunts don't always go up. We spend many practices working on specific stunts that the girls want to achieve. Sometimes we're successful, sometimes we're not. But they never give up. So their dedication is out of this world. Yeah, some practices we have fun, fool around, tumble, do whatever, but you need that sometimes. So I'm excited to see what the winter brings. I know with the combined teams with Avoca, the coach over there and I kind of have a plan. So we will see what happens. So for my awards for JV, my most improved, this young lady had never cheered before. She played basketball, decided that just really wasn't her thing. Came to our first practice really shy, standoffish. But by the end of the season, she was just full of ideas, willing to step up. Was one of our bases, a very strong base. Always did what she asked. And it was fun watching her learn cheers. It was really unique. She had her own way of learning the cheers, and I would just sit back and watch, and she just did amazing. She had lots of bumps and bruises, but never complained. And when JV was over, I asked her to step up, and because one of my varsity cheerleaders got hurt, and she didn't hesitate. She stepped up, learned the varsity cheers in a very short amount of time, and did a great job filling in. So my most improved for JV is Lily Jaritsma. My coach's award, this young lady had never cheered before. She went to all the basketball games last year. She helped in the concession stand, and decided she wanted to give cheerleading a try. First practice, her energy level was through the roof. And I had her when she was younger in school and didn't realize how energetic she could be. And that energy made her really step up into leadership role, which earned her the role of captain. And then one day she decided she wanted to learn how to fly. The first few tries were comical, but she never gave up. And by the end of the season, she was flying up in fulls. We could sweep her. And she was just so excited. That was one of her goals, and she achieved it at the end of the year. So my coach's award for JV cheerleading goes to Arianna Sierra. And my MVP. This young lady had never cheered before, but last spring she stepped up and was one of my coaches for my little's Viking cheer squad. She just came to one of the practice one day and said she wanted to help. So that was very appreciative that she had done this. She brought energy, leadership to the squad. Her smile was so contagious. And she always encouraged her teammates and was willing to do whatever was asked of her. Even when she broke her nose. That was a freak accident. But she came to practice with ideas and encouragement. So my MVP for JV this year is Gabby Chandler. Now my varsity awards. This young lady stepped up and was the main flyer for varsity. The girls pretty much told her, hey, you're going to do this. We're going to throw you in different stunts. We know you've never done it before, but we know you can do it. She encountered many falls, bumps, bruises, but never gave up. She did go through a period where her confidence was a little low, but with encouragement and guidance, she stepped back up into that flyer position and did it. Her energy level at practices through the roof. You could always count on her for some kind of TikTok. And that I had no clue what that was, but it was fun. And she was always there to entertain us when things would get, a little bumpy, little too serious. So my most improved for varsity cheerleading is Violet Hopkins. My coach's award. This young lady always pushed herself to be her best. She tried flying a few times, didn't like it, scared of heights, so I didn't push her to do it because I knew I could count on her for tumbling. With her tumbling, she had big goals. She wanted to get her back handspring, her aerial, and a couple of other things. And the main one that she really worked on this season was her aerial. And by the end of the season, she got it at one of the practices. And she she was so excited. The girls were excited for her. So my coach's award goes to Madison Everdike. My most valuable cheerleader really had to step up this year. Many of her cheer friends graduated last June. So it left her as my, senior cheerleader. She had to take on the role of captain for both squads. She had to step up and be a leader. And she is a very talented cheerleader. Her talent was kind of hidden the past few years because, we had another cheerleader that was absolutely amazing. And this little young lady is amazing as well. And she really stood out at tryouts. Her jumps were beautiful. And the girls really looked up to her for ideas and leadership. And she stepped up. And even when she got hurt, she still came to practices, willing to work, help as much as she could. And I look forward to her last season with us next year. My most valuable cheerleader this year is Emma Hossauer. And last, my Unsung Hero Award. This one is hard because I feel like all the girls deserve this. They all stepped up. They all worked hard. They all had goals. But one girl really steps out to me. There were lots of ups and downs this season. And this young lady stepped up and tried to get everybody back together when things would get down. She was willing to base, but most of the time she wanted to be out front and center of our floor cheers, starting five, things like that. Her personality, energy, and smile were truly contagious. I'm sad that for her that she won't be able to go to Thailand in July, but I'm truly excited that she gets to cheer with us again next season. So my Unsung Hero Award goes to Kylie Herndon. And again, I would like to thank everyone for this opportunity, and I really look forward to what next season brings. I think it's going to be really exciting. Thank you.
Hi everyone, Mrs. Sullivan here to present and honor the Avoca Prattsburgh JV girls basketball team. First, I'll introduce the girls. 8th graders, Captain Cameron Edwards, Marissa Reed, Captain Lily Hassauer, Emma Carlton, Diane Hakes, Gwen Moon. Freshman Captain Taylor Grover, Carmen Daly, Emily Hammond, Cadence Ridley. Sophomores Captain Susie Moore. I'd like to begin by thanking some of the people that have helped out this year. Thank you to Mrs. Schick, Mrs. Moore, and Mrs. Pinkney for keeping the book and running the clock. Thank you to Mr. Robbins and Mr. Gilbert for helping out at games and practices this year. And a big thank you to Mr. Van Denberg for working with our girls at the modified level and for stepping in and helping out when I needed him. Finally, thank you to all the parents for your support and commitment to our program. We had a young, talented, and eager team this year. Our overall record was 12-8. We had a great run and played many competitive, close games. Most of our losses were within 10 points. We clinched the number 4 seed for the county tournament. We defeated JT in the opening round by a score of 47-38. In the semifinals, we lost a heartbreaker after jumping out to an early lead to the eventual champions, Arkport Canasarega. Lastly, we finished the season in consolation play by defeating Bradford to avenge our double overtime loss during the regular season. Overall, the girls put together a great season, and we are all looking forward to seeing what they can do in the years to come. Now on to the awards. Choosing recipients for the awards this year was very difficult, as each player greatly contributed to our success. I will be giving out an MVP award, a Coach's Award, and the Most Improved Player Award. The Coach's Award goes to a player with an extreme amount of passion and drive. This young lady was essential to our team. She unselfishly remained on JV to be a leader and to transition into a guard role. Last year she was strictly a post player, and this year she was expected to play every position, even point guard. She always gave 100% and pushed her younger teammates to do the same. I am excited to award Susie Moore the Coach's Award. Great job, Suze. The Most Improved Player Award goes to a 9th grader with a tremendous amount of potential. This young lady was asked to take over as primary point guard. This new role proved to be a bit of a challenge. However, she adjusted and improved her game throughout the season. She ended the season with 153 points, the second highest on the team, and 59 more points than last season. She recorded 59 steals on the season. Again, this is the second highest on the team, and 23 more than she had last season. She also recorded the team's highest free throw shooting percentage. There is no doubt that this young lady will continue to improve her game and be an asset. The Most Improved Player Award goes to Taylor Grover. Great work, Taylor. The MVP award goes to an 8th grader with passion, enthusiasm, and a desire to succeed. She led our team in many different areas in any given game. She was a huge scoring presence for us and very versatile. She was our top scorer with 199 points and our top rebounder with 179 rebounds. She also led the team in steals with 61 and blocks with 52. She was extremely dependable and led by example by always giving 100%. Her and her teammates have a bright future. The Most Valuable Player Award goes to Cameron Edwards. Good job, Cam. Then I want to take one more minute to thank my sophomore, Susie Moore. Susie has posted an impressive 27-13 record while playing JV basketball. She scored 244 points and pulled down 200 rebounds. You will be greatly missed, and I know you will continue your success at the next level. Thank you for all of your dedication. And lastly, thanks again to all of the girls for making this year so memorable.
Hi everybody, hope all is well and everyone is staying healthy. The JV boys had an outstanding basketball season, and we would like to thank the administration, fans, parents, and bus drivers for making it all possible. A special thank you to Coach Putnam, Coach DeVoe, and Mrs. Cartwright for everything you do. Also a huge thank you to Coach Burke for all the work you put in. The kids had a great time in Cleveland and loved having the Christmas tournament back. This year's team included manager Jaden Crowder, 7th grader Matthew Tomes, 8th grader McCoy Putnam, 9th graders Evan Campbell, Jamel Crowder, Sawyer DeVoe, Eric Joseph, Tanner Miller, Jamie Reagan, Aiden Slicing. 10th grader, Caleb Johnson. The team agreed the highlights of the season were beating Wayland in the championship game of the Christmas tournament, beating Notre Dame, Marcus Whitman, York, and winning the county championship. They also said they really enjoyed practices where they pushed each other to be the best. This led them to a 20-0 record. The most improved player this year is a player who made huge strides to become a better teammate and really improved his game. With an outstanding 33-point game against Marcus Whitman, the most improved player award goes to Evan Campbell. The most valuable player this season is a player who sets the example for what a Viking should be. This player did a great job running the team as a point guard with 130 assists and was a huge factor on the defensive end with 110 steals. This year's MVP award goes to McCoy Putnam. The Coach's Award is given to a player that demonstrates the hard work and determination it takes to be a Viking. There's nobody that can outwork this kid. One of his many great performances was a 30-point game against Notre Dame. This year's Coach's Award goes to Sawyer DeVoe. I'd personally like to congratulate the team for putting in the work to pull off the 20-0 season. Thank you.
Hello folks, coming to you live from the beautiful Mutton Hollow Valley. This should be interesting as I've never been videotaped, nor have I ever taken a selfie, so bear with me. The 5 to 7 minute limit probably will be pushing it, okay? I have to hold up my reputation. We'll quiet Putnam. We'll go with we'll do some thank yous here before we get to the awards. I want to thank first Brian Robbins, being my right-hand man once again. We've been at it a long time, and thank you very much, buddy. Appreciate it. Kelly Pinkney, she helped out at a lot of practices this year and was our scorekeeper on occasion. Amy Schick, scorekeeper. Thank you very much. And our parents. Parents, can't thank you enough. Just a kind of a crazy year with combining, and a lot of things had to come together, and we got through it, and you're very supportive, and I cannot thank you enough for all that you've done behind the scenes to help this team have a successful season. I thank you very much. Administration, athletic directors, and transportation department had a big task this year and handled it awesome. There was a lot on your plate to make everything come together with the two schools. I know it was a tough deal, and we worked through it. Everybody, had each other's back, and it worked out. I think it worked out great. So thank you very much for all your time and efforts to make that happen. And last but not least, my lovely wife, who has always been very supportive for my coaching career, and is always there to listen to everything that goes along with a long basketball season. Okay, so let's move on to our roster this year for the 2019-2020 Lady Vikings. Our managers this year were Cameron Moore and Mia Putnam. Thank you, girls, for your hard work. Sophomores this year, Kendra Pinkney, Annabella Putnam, Riley Stowe. Juniors, Emily Kramer, Lucia Darpino, Morgan Edwards, and Colby Santillo. Seniors, Selena Judd, Emmy Moore, Delaney Stowe, and Alexis Weldy. A little bit about our season this year. We had a very successful season. We ended up with a record of 15-6. We won our Christmas tournament against a very tough Corning team and beat some great teams within a very tough schedule. I couldn't have asked for more from this group. They worked very hard, and with that, toward the end of the season, we had a sectional run in sight. In the second round, we ran into a very big, talented Pavilion team that played a perfect game against us and ultimately ended our season. Not surprisingly, they went on to win sectionals. This team was an absolute joy to coach this year and will go down as one of my favorites ever. Okay, on to the awards. I say this every year, but this was probably the most difficult group to come up with a decision for these awards. I literally had 2 legitimate recipients for each award. That speaks for itself, for the talent that we had on this team and what a great team that we had this year. So here goes. First, our Most Improved Player award. From the start of the season, this player appeared more focused and poised to do whatever it took to help her team win. It carried on throughout the season, and her stats back it up. She scored 189 points, up 70 points from last season. She went from 22 steals to 56 steals. Her free throw percentage went from 60 to 68%. And her field goal percentage went from 24%, almost doubling it, to 47%. A very impressive improvement in a year's time. In addition to that, she displayed a much higher level of leadership for our team. This young lady was voted to the second team All-County. She will be taking her academic and soccer skills to Pitt Bradford. This year's Most Improved Player is Delaney Stowe. Congratulations, Delaney. This year's MVP is next. This year's MVP plays with guts, finesse, heart, and a whole lot of attitude. She led the Lady Vikings in scoring and rebound once again. With our many trips in the van back and forth to Avoca, I was fortunate to observe many interesting conversations and topics amongst the girls. In practice and on game day, this one is all business and can, in a way, come across as a rough, demanding of her team, and sometimes a little bossy. Every team needs a player like this. Getting to know her a little more in an off-court setting, she is a very sincere, true, caring, kind-hearted young lady that will do anything for her teammates. She was voted first team All-County, Spectator Grade 8, and 5th team All-State. Fortunately, she will be back with us for one more year. This year's MVP is Lucia Darpino. Way to go, Luch. The crowd goes wild. Okay, next up is the Coaches Award. This young lady is a true leader in every sense of the word. On the floor, on game night, in practice, in the van, in the team room, and in the classroom, she leads us. She always finds a positive in every adverse moment and has a unique way of picking up her teammates in every situation. There's a list a mile long of what she has done for me over the last 4 years, and I feel she has made me a better coach because of it. Words can't describe what she has meant to our basketball program, on and off the court. She certainly will be missed. She is taking her academic and tennis skills to Pitt Bradford this fall. This year's Coaches Award goes to Emmy Moore. Congratulations, Emmy. Way to go. Okay. Now, a new award this year, which I think was a fantastic idea, is the Unsung Hero Award. This to me was a no-brainer. I thoroughly enjoy this young lady. She has a heart of gold and epitomizes the term loyal teammate. She gives 100% in practice every day, and although she doesn't rack up a lot of floor time, on game day she maintains a never-ending positive attitude, sense of humor, and uplifts her teammates. I mentioned sense of humor, knowing that my occupation brings me into the elements of outdoors, and I have a balding quality about myself. This is how it went in practice every day. Hey coach, how was your work day today? Good, Kramer. How was your day? Oh, pretty good. Did you work outside today, coach? As a matter of fact, I did. With a red-cheeked smile mile wide, she asked me, did you wear a hat? Well, what's that supposed to mean, Kramer? Well, it's kind of cold outside, and I think you should wear a hat. Kramer, always looking out for her bald coach. I just love her to death. What an awesome young lady. This year's Unsung Hero Award goes to Emily Kramer. Way to go, Kramer. Okay. Now, because we're limited to 3 awards, 3 major awards, and a 4th one now, I have to mention the senior on this team, that without her skills and hard work and team play, our success simply would not be there. She's been a joy to coach and will be greatly missed. She was voted 2nd team All-County and is taking her academic and soccer skills to MCC this fall. The team DJ, team rapper, best co-pilot, best dancer, and hard charger award goes to Alexis Weldy. Way to go, Weldy. In closing, I hope everyone is staying healthy during these crazy times, and I want to thank my Lady Vikings for a very, very memorable season. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you all soon. Way to go, ladies.
All right, guys, so here we are in this crazy world that we live in, the 2020 Sports Awards Banquet. I'd like to thank everybody that came. It's good to talk to everybody. First thing we'll do, I think, is just announce players. Our seniors this year: Mason Putnam, Eamon Anderson, Chris Hively. Juniors: Devin Pygott, Chris Johnson, Dominic Reagan, James Crowder, Henry DeVoe, Caleb Clements, Shane Woodworth, and Daniel Young. Sophomore: Caleb Johnson. Freshman: Sawyer DeVoe, and 8th grader McCoy Putnam. Our 2 managers, Elias Putnam and Dayton Putnam. Also my daughter Mia helped us out a little bit. As always, I would like to start with a whole lot of thank yous. There's a lot of people that make this happen. School board, administration of Prattsburgh are totally awesome. Coach Burke, for all that you do. Our assistant coaches, Zach and Mike. It doesn't get done without guys like you. It's just awesome to have good people on the sidelines with you. Families and players, you guys are great. That goes without saying. We got great families, we got great players. Also, a big thank you to Terry Cartwright for doing the book, Dave Shank for doing the board, also Kelly Pinkney for filling in on the scoreboard early on while Dave was riding his bike around. To my wife Erica for all her support at home. She's the rock that keeps everything together, keeps the family going during this very busy time. She holds down the fort, the sectional dinners, everything. Thank you very much. As always, our kids are very hardworking, very dedicated. They put in a huge amount of time through the year, 6 days a week, pretty much without end, all season long. It's a very hard working group. Very few complaints. We'll hear a complaint every now and then, but that's to be expected with the kids. They're always working hard. They're always willing to learn. It's just a good group of kids. Our expectations for these kids are very high, and they're definitely held to a higher standard, and they exceed expectations for sure. Couldn't ask for more. Couldn't ask for a better group of kids. We'll get right into the awards. It's odd not talking in front of people or whatnot, so we'll probably be short and sweet. So we'll get right into the awards. Most improved player this year. This year's most improved player had some big contributions late in the year. Probably one of his biggest obstacles is just being able to play relaxed. Practice, he's a great practice player, and as the year rolled on, he became a better game player as he got more comfortable and felt like he fitted in better and felt like he actually played a role. Once he got comfortable on the floor, his game really started to improve. Hit some big shots late in the year for us, and he did a great job on the boards. Pretty solid defender, can handle the ball a little bit. Congratulations to this year's most improved player is Henry DeVoe. Moving on, Coaches Award. This year's Coaches Award goes to an athlete whose dedication is second to none. Is pretty much the epitome of what giving 100% means. He's always 100% for the team. I don't think I've ever seen one act of selfishness from this guy. Like probably the most unselfish player I've ever coached. He is at every practice ready to give max effort, 100% all the time. Always there for players to talk to if they need to. Just a great person to have on the team. This year's Coaches Award goes to senior Eamon Anderson. And the most valuable player, this year's MVP, is probably one of the best leaders that I've ever had the privilege to coach. His work ethic and dedication is second to none. The hours that I watch him put in the weight room, put in the gym, it's unbelievable. The type of player that makes everyone around him better just by what he does. This year, this player collected the Waco Tip-Off Tourney MVP, Christmas Tourney MVP, Section 5 MVP, Steuben County MVP for the third straight year, first team All-State, ended his career with 2,515 points, which puts him second in Section 5 history and 8th in New York State history. Excuse me. He was also selected to this year's Ronald McDonald game. Led us in rebounds with 162 this year, assists with 114, steals with 104, and points with 778. It's pretty rare that you have one person lead in all four categories. This year's MVP is Mason Putnam. In closing, again, I would like to say I'm very proud of these student athletes. It's an absolute joy to come to practice every day when you have a group of kids like this that work hard and enjoy what they do and enjoy being with each other. It's a fun group who brought home another sectional title. To the seniors, I wish you the best of luck. You guys will be missed very much, and you've been incredible Vikings. Thanks again for everything that you did here at PCS, and best of luck in life's next challenges. Thank you to everybody. Thanks for everybody out there tuning in and watching this in our strange world that we're living in right now. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Lathrop again, and I am the girls outdoor track coach. I am representing myself and my father, John Welk. With spring track, it breaks my heart that this is a season that wasn't. The boys were coming off a D2 County and Section 5 championship. We'd lost some key seniors from the year before, but we had a large returning group. With some strong and determined individuals, the possibility for some key upsets were definitely there. We will have every Prattsburgh track boy returning, and we will while we graduate a good part of the Eboke boys, we will look for some key performances next year. The girls had an outstanding group that I was really looking forward to watching. We had the largest running girls team that I had ever had the privilege to coach. We were looking at running competitively with Alfred Almond in counties and sectionals. We were deep in many events, and we were looking to score well into the postseason. But the bright side is that every Prattsburgh girl and the majority of the Avoca girls will be returning next year, and we will hit the track strong next spring. As we combine for all sports, we encourage the athletes to look at cross-country and the track programs. We really do have a place for everyone.
Hello. This is for the spring tennis season. Didn't get a whole lot into it this year. We only had 2 weeks of practices. But got lucky. We were able to practice outdoors right from the beginning this year. We only had to practice indoors, I think, once or twice. We did practice, of course, when we could over the winter, some of the players, but when the team part of started this spring, we were able to get outside. We didn't have to do any shoveling this year. Very unusual. The roster for this year, a good mix from Avoca as well as Prattsburgh. We had 6 from Prattsburgh and we had 5 from Avoca. Players, we have 7 of them are 9th graders. James Stevens, Connor Stewart, Jackson Oliver, Bryce Shook, Jonathan Leonard, Daisy Huff, Grace Towner, all 9th graders, tremendous. Ryan Stanford, 10th grader, and 3 juniors from Prattsburgh, J.P. Hubbard, Elijah Leonard, and Nolan Randall. Our manager for this past year, Elias Putnam. It was a good group. I was really looking forward to working with this group. With those 9th graders, a lot of young players that looked like they were going to be strong. Good athletes, worked well, seemed to really get together really well early on. Hard to do, but they did very well with that. And again, no seniors, so we're looking forward to having this group back next year. It's a strong group. I expect good things from this team. We should be very tough to beat by next year. Thank you, and hope to see you again next spring.
I'm going to start by announcing the Spring 2020 varsity softball roster. Lily Hausauer, Emma Carlton, Susie Moore, Annabella Putnam, Lily Jarrett, Arianna Sierra, Legacy Davis, Kendra Pinkney, Emma Hausauer, Mallory Patwin, Lauren Moore, and Miracle Emmett. As a coach, I look for girls who show up, ready to work, ready to learn, and excited to be a part. This season, we had girls who play travel ball, girls who go to lessons, attend camps, and have years of experience. We also had girls who were convinced in a Walmart parking lot or on a tennis court that it would be a good idea to sign up for softball, even though they'd never played before. Girls who didn't even know how to throw a ball. Despite the differing levels, I challenged the girls just the same, because no matter what your talent level, you can always show up. I expected them to, and they did. Every day, they grew to new heights, and some accomplished things that they didn't necessarily know that they could. I saw their confidence skyrocket, the limits they set for themselves disappear, and I saw them become this sisterhood built on hustle, heart, and a few loud, proud heck yes. At the end of the week, Coach Six said she thought we were going to be the Bad News Bears. It's a shame we didn't get the chance to be. No one would have seen it coming. I know we were seen as the underdogs, but these girls would have shattered those expectations that others had and really proved something this year. We really believed that. On our last day, before the girls knew our season was over, the Climb by Miley Cyrus came on over the speakers in the gym. At that moment, the girls threw their arms around each other and sang. I know these girls weren't all best friends outside of that gym, but the bond that they shared within those walls was something that was unmatched by any team I've ever seen or been a part of. They came together through the sweat, wondering if agilities would ever end, and the way that they grew individually and together. They always celebrated each other. It made them courageous and unafraid and strong. They didn't get the season they deserved, but I hope that they learned in that week sometimes the most unexpected things can happen, and there truly are no such thing as limits when you show up, ready to work, ready to learn, and excited to be a part. It is about the climb, and I cannot wait to pick up where we left off next year. This shortened season is just a hiccup in our journey. To our girls, Coach Sick and I are so proud of you. To our seniors, we really wish you the best. And to our future, we cannot wait to see what you have in store. Thank you.
So hello again. For spring sports, which were pretty much non-existent this year, we had a couple practices and that was it. Just want to recognize these kids. It's just unfortunate because this was going to be a pretty solid team, I feel. We had a pretty good group of core kids coming back. We lost one senior. We were really looking forward to a good season. Players, JT Campbell, Evan Campbell, Caleb Clements, Ethan Kohlberg, Jamel Crowder, Sawyer DeVoe, Henry DeVoe, McCoy Putnam, Mason Putnam, Jamie Reagan, Dominic Reagan, Alex Stevens, and Daniel Young. I feel bad for these kids because it's a good group of kids. They enjoy playing with each other. They all got great attitudes. They all get along, and it's just unfortunate they didn't get a chance to play. It's unfortunate for everybody, especially for the seniors. Just the way it is right now. We're looking forward to a very successful season. We had two very solid starting pitchers coming back in Mason and Caleb. We got guys that can field the baseball, so we're going to be pretty solid defensively. They had an opportunity to go make a pretty good sectional run in baseball. Like I said, it's just unfortunate for all of them. Thank you again.
Before I honor our senior female and male athlete of the year, I would like to say thank you to the administration, secretaries, coaches, and athletes that have made my last 2 years as athletic director enjoyable. I've been blessed to have spent more than 30 years at PCS, working with outstanding faculty, bosses, students, and the best parents a coach could ask for. The past few months have been tough on our athletes, especially our seniors, and our community as well. I understand the virus pandemic is serious and somewhat understand why the government is doing what it's doing. But let's face it, our kids are being cheated out of something they've worked for years to take part in. Maybe there is a lesson to be learned of this, but right now, it's hard to find one. A message for our athletes: the only way you should be able to tell it's practice is by what you're wearing. Be aware of taking things for granted. Play every practice or game like it's your last, because it very well could be, as our seniors found out this year. When you finally reach the day that you can't play and can only watch, then you will know how much you love something that you once took for granted. A short message for parents: cherish the moments. One day you will wake up and you won't have anyone to take to practice or pick up from practice. Enjoy the time you have with your children. Now let's get to the highlights of today's event. Naming the 2019-2020 Senior Female and Male Athlete of the Year. We are fortunate in that we had two athletes that do more than expected. They support their teammates when all looks dark and hopeless. They are positive role models for all players and for the younger students in our school, because they are not only fine athletes, but are outstanding human beings as well. Our female athlete has been on 5 sectional championship tennis teams. She has a career 80+ wins, an individual sectional title, and 3 doubles titles. Tennis team's MVP this past season was a recipient of the 2019 Basketball Coaches Award and second team league all-star, as well as second team All-Star and team MVP for softball in 2019. It gives me great pleasure in presenting Lauren Emmy Moore as a 2019-2020 PCS Senior Female Athlete of the Year. Congrats, Lauren, and best of luck taking your talents to Pitt Bradford University. Our Male Athlete of the Year has played on 2 Section 5 championship teams, 3-time Section 5 All-Tournament team member, being named MVP twice in the finals, 3 times named league MVP, twice was named League Soccer Player of the Year. He holds the school career record for points scored with an unbelievable 2,515 points. Second leading scorer in Section 5 history, ranks 8th in New York State, only male athlete to break the 2,000 point barrier in Steuben County, was a Class D first team All-State this year, twice was named MVP of the Barclay Showcase, and was MVP of the Wayne-Cohocton Hall of Fame Showcase. I know everyone is struggling trying to figure out the 2019-2020 PCS Senior Male Athlete of the Year. So it gives me great pleasure in presenting this award to Mason Putnam. Congrats, Mason, and best of luck taking your basketball talents to Division II to Uville College in Buffalo.
Well, what a great tribute to our athletes and coaches. Not the ways certainly that we want to do it these days, but it's better than nothing, and it's a great celebration for the year and everything that happened. Speaking of coaches, we have our special guest today. Our special guest is the one and only Coach Burke. Welcome, Coach Burke.
Thank you.
Welcome, Coach Burke. And what we always say about Coach Burke is he's forgotten more than most of us know. And I actually almost got him to sign a 10-year contract, but then he decided at the last minute that this was his second tour of duty here at PCS, and he's decided to hang it up. Coach?
Well, thanks for having me here, but I'm usually one that dresses up for events, but for some reason I wasn't made aware of what was going on today, so I got my secondary gear on.
That's okay, Coach.
You still look good, Coach.
I don't know about that.
We sure are going to miss you, having you around here. You can't be a stranger to us, but we do thank you for all the years that you've given and dedicated to Prattsburgh and everything you've done for us.
Well, I won't be a stranger, but there comes a time in life when we have to relinquish things that we really enjoy, and probably the best times of my life have been over here in Prattsburgh. I cannot think of a better institution to have worked with, a better group of teachers, a better group of kids, athletes that have played for me, and for a community where 99% of the parents have been extremely positive. And it's been a great joy for me and for my family. And I'm just, I guess sometimes in life you're at the right place at the right time. And when I got the opportunity to come here, it couldn't have been any better. I've been blessed.
And what a legacy Coach has left, and I think it's a symbol, Aaron. We're wearing the green jerseys, and if anybody knows anything about these green jerseys, Coach Burke started these, and they've become famous not only in Steuben County, but Section 5 in New York State. So, Coach?
Probably 77-78 season, I think we started the Blazers. And a story about the Blazers, I went to a funeral home. Doug Westcott was Section 5 basketball chairman, and he passed away. And we went to the calling hours. And when I got up to the casket to where he was laid, his wife looked at me and she said, "The Green Blazers." So the Green Blazers are well known around not only the county, but probably the state.
Our athletes always look sharp.
Always.
Always. Well, we thank you for everything you've done for us. We will miss you, but please make sure you are not a stranger. And when you come, you need to bring Lucy.
Oh, definitely. Without, you know, I gotta say one thing. All the years that I've been here, been involved, all the sports, there was summers where I coached 5 teams at least. That lady has never, ever complained, never said a discouraging word, never tried to convince me to put an end to it. In fact, when I did retire before, she really missed it, but she's been a blessing also, you know, being behind me. She's the perfect coach's wife.
Well, we're gonna miss you both.
Well, we're gonna miss this too, believe me.
Thanks, Coach.
Coach, thank you. And with that, that brings us to the end of our athletic awards ceremony. And once again, a great tribute to all of our coaches and athletes.
I don't know what can be said about you more, Coach, that hasn't been said already by myself and, of course, by many others. The influence, the impact that you have had on all of our lives is immeasurable. I appreciate all that you have done for me, all that you have done for our school, and all that you have done for our tiny little community. And I'm also grateful that you had another opportunity to come back to influence another generation of students and families about the Prattsburgh way, and the Prattsburgh way being the best way. I appreciate all that you have done over the years for all of us. You know how much I love you and Lucy. I thank you both for everything that you have done. I want you to enjoy this next chapter in your life, of course, with your family, with Riley. And I just, again, appreciate all that you have done for Prattsburgh and all that you have done for so many. Coach, I love you, and I wish you all the best, and I can't wait to give you a big hug real soon. Thanks.
Coach Burke, I wanted to thank you for all the years you've put into sports program at Prattsburgh. Not just for what you've done for me as a tennis player, but I mean all the things you've done for the programs all throughout. And that's not an easily done job. There's no way it can be. Working with all our coaches, making sure our schedules are set, making sure the transportation is done. And all these things are behind the scenes things that make it run smoothly. It takes a lot of work to get that done and done well. Always been a pleasure to work with, and I tell you, the respect level I have for you is very, very high. I've always wanted to emulate your success at the basketball program. I mean, it's what you've done there over those years that have a dynasty put together pretty much year after year, having a strong team. It's really the same thing that I've always wanted to do. You know, even come close makes me feel good, but again, huge admiration for you. Continued success in everything you've done and do. I know you're going to continue working with kids to make them improve in any way you possibly can. And again, with a strong positive attitude. Keep at it, man. Take care. Stay safe.
Hey Coach, I just wanted to say that these past 2 years having you back at the school have been awesome. You have been such a big help. However, the fax machine is going to be very quiet. Maybe sometime Riley can show you how to add an attachment to your emails. It will be a life changer, I promise. But in all seriousness, I've had you as a teacher, I've worked with you as a co-worker, but you're always going to be a friend, Coach. And I want to thank you again for all that you've done in the past, in the present, and you know you're going to still help us in the future. So we love you, Coach, and take care.
Okay, one last time that I'm done, just like to say thank you to Coach Burke. You go above and beyond. You're going to be missed big time for sure. Can't even imagine how many phone calls and emails that you've sent out over the past 2 years. Your attention to detail, getting everything done, it's just absolutely incredible working with you. I think probably if I could emulate anything, it would be your leadership ability, the way you can just get people to respond to you and help, and it's just a pretty cool thing to watch you work, no doubt. We're gonna miss you. Good luck in whatever you do next. Take care, Coach.
Coach, now that you are passing on the athletic director torch, we all would like to express one simple thought. It's about time. Actually, you become so much a part of this school and community that we felt obliged to permanently mark our gymnasium floor with your name. But why? It's the connections you make with the student athletes. Your impact on these kids' lives cannot be tangibly measured. But take one look at those who have been in the PCS system, and we can see your impact. It's revealed in their respect for others, an expectation you've had for every student athlete. It's revealed in their disciplined approach to their decisions, thanks to the structure you supplied to them. And it's revealed in their responsibility to their families, something you stressed as an important part of any student athlete's life. They absorbed these lessons, which were disguised as humorous stories, wild antics, and tough love. But the best decision you ever made for Prattsburgh was making sure Lucy has played a major role. We've always looked forward to having her join you at the scorer's table, behind the camera, or on team road trips. Beyond any of these reasons, you've embraced us, and we've embraced you in return. You are a mentor, a friend, and a father figure. So it's with Viking pride that I say, thank you, Coach, for your dedication to the kids, this school, and community.